Hey everybody, I'm Juliana and you're watching Sprocket Girl, and today I'm bringing you a 20-minute yoga video. I got some requests to focus on the lower back and the quads, and these are areas that tend to get tight for bikers anyway, so we're going to be focusing on the whole lower body today. So lower back, quads, but also the hamstrings and the glute and hip area. This yoga practice is for anyone and everyone, even if you don't have any prior yoga experience. And don't worry about the flexibility aspect of this practice. You can do any of these poses even in a modified form, and I will be providing some guidance on that. And if you like this channel, hit the subscribe button, like some of the videos, and leave a comment. I love comments. And all you need today is an area where you can practice. If you have a mat, great. If not, you can also do this on the floor, on the carpet, or on a towel. So hop into some comfy clothes, and I will meet you on the mat in child's pose. All right, let's start on the ground in child's pose. So bring your big toes to touch, knees out wide. Take an inhale here, and on your exhale, slowly lower your upper body down to the ground or onto your mat, extending your hands out in front of you, and if you can, resting your forehead down on the mat. Do your best to relax everything as much as you can here, relaxing your head and neck. Maybe relaxing your forearms onto the mat and relaxing your hips down toward your heels. If your hips don't touch your heels, that's totally fine. You can also rest right here, just trying to relax into the pose wherever you are right now. Take a couple of deep breaths in here. Feel the breath. Feel your belly expand and then contract on the exhale. This is a really good pose if you have lower back problems or lower back pain. You can just come into this pose and relax here. It should be really helpful to release any tension you might have in your lower back. On your next inhale, look forward and then come up into a neutral tabletop position. So your wrists will be directly underneath your shoulders, your knees directly underneath your hips. And already here we want to start with the proper alignment. So we're not just hanging out in this pose, but we really want to engage our arms here. So we're rotating our elbows towards each other, and in that way the tricep is rotating backward like this. So it almost feels a little bit like you're opening up two jars in opposite directions with your hands. So try engaging that already here. Then on an inhale, we'll drop our belly down, gaze forward, broaden through the chest. And exhale, tuck your tailbone, round through your whole spine, and push up through the area between your shoulder blades, drop your head. Inhale, drop your belly, look forward again, broaden through your chest. And exhale, come back to cat pose, rounding through your spine, pressing up through the area between your shoulder blades. Inhale, cow pose again. And exhale, cat. And now do this a couple of times at your own pace with your own breath. So inhaling to cow. And exhaling to cat. Inhaling to cow. And exhaling to cat. And two more times. Just getting some flexibility going through your spine, mobilizing it a bit, getting ready for the next poses to come. And then we'll meet back in a neutral tabletop position here. Tuck your feet if they aren't already tucked. Walk your hands out forward a little bit. We're going to come into downward facing dog. So again, here we want to keep the proper alignment with our hands. Really strengthen through your arms. You're rotating your elbows toward each other and rotating at the same time your tricep back. So from here, engage through your core and slightly lift your knees off the ground and then push your hips up and back. Since this is the first downward dog of class, we'll take it easy. Take a nice generous bend into your knees here. Push out through all 10 fingertips, pushing your hips backward. And bending your knees here will really help with that. And then in time, you can work to bringing your heels closer down to the ground and straightening out your legs. Take an inhale here and exhale it out. On an inhale, look forward. Slowly walk your feet to meet your hands. And we'll hang out here for a second in a forward fold. So bring your hips about hip width apart. And then just let your upper body hang down. Your hands can come down to the ground or clasp opposite elbows. We just really want to relax here in this forward fold ragdoll pose. Try to relax your head and neck. And even if you're right here, depending on your flexibility, that's totally fine. So you'll just hang out here or down here. Again, you can also bring a nice bend to your knees if the backs of your legs are particularly tight. We'll work into opening up through the hamstrings in the next couple minutes too. Take an inhale here and exhale it out. And then drop your hands towards the ground. We'll inhale here, come to a halfway lift, so bring your hands to your shins or to your thighs. And then exhale back down, forward fold. Bend your knees and then roll up vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up to standing. Inhale your arms overhead. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Again, you're about hip width apart here with your feet. And then inhale up and exhale over to the right. If you can, try not to collapse into your chest, instead opening up here. Maybe gaze towards the ceiling or the sky. And come back up. Grab the opposite wrist, so grab your right wrist with your left hand. Inhale up and exhale over to the left. Again, maybe you gaze up to the sky. And then come back up. Hands down. Inhale, hands overhead one more time. And then we'll exhale, come to a forward fold, hands toward the ground. Inhale to a straight back, hands either above or below your knees. And exhale back down. Plant your hands, step back into a plank pose. We'll hold this just for a couple of breaths. So really strengthen through your whole body. Engage your legs. Engage your quads. And then inhale, shift forward slightly, and exhale, come all the way down to the ground. From here, clasp your hands behind your back. Engage through your whole legs so that your kneecaps are coming off the ground almost. Press into your toes, press into the ground. On an inhale, draw your shoulders together and lift your upper body off. Take an inhale here and exhale, let it go. Let's do that 2 more times. Again, strengthening through your legs, engaging your quads. Your kneecaps might lift off the ground. Press into your toes. Draw your shoulder blades together. Really engage the area between your shoulder blades. And inhale your upper body up. Take an inhale here and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale all the way down to the ground. Let's do that one more time. Again, engage through your legs. Draw the area between your shoulder blades together. Draw your shoulder blades together. And on an inhale, lift your upper body up. And exhale back down. Plant your hands. Press back into plank or tabletop position and back into downward facing dog. From here, gaze forward and bring your right foot to the inside of your right hand. Lower your left knee down. Low lunge here. And when you feel stable, inhale your arms overhead. And take a couple of breaths here. This should feel really good through the front of your left hip and your left quad. Try to keep your right knee over your right ankle. Maybe you look up here, challenging your balance a little bit. Inhale and then exhale, plant your hands to frame your right foot. And if you want a little bit more of a quad stretch here, you can bring your left hand more towards the center and bend your left knee. Reach your right hand around and maybe you grab hold of your left foot here. Now if this is too much, you can also elevate your left hand onto a block or some books here if you want a little bit more of a stretch. Really breathe deeply into your left quad, trying to open up that area. And then gently release your left foot. Bring your hands to frame your right foot again. Plant your left toes, lift your left knee, and then step back into plank. And from here, we'll just directly push back into downward facing dog. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So look forward and step your left foot in between your hands, bringing your right knee down to the ground. Low lunge on this side. When you feel stable, inhale your hands overhead. Again, this should feel really nice here through the front of your right hip and your right quad. Maybe gaze up towards the ceiling, challenging your balance a little bit. And then exhale, frame your left foot with your hands. You can hang out here, or if you want a little bit more of a quad stretch again, bring your right hand a little bit more to center. Either palm down or tent your fingers. Bend your left or your right knee. Reach your left hand around, grabbing hold of the foot. And if you can't grab hold of the foot, you can also just hang out right here. That's also fine. Breathing into your right quad. Again, if this is a little bit too intense, you can bring a book or a block to elevate yourself here under your right hand. Slowly release your right foot. Make sure you don't slingshot it backwards. Bring both hands to frame your left foot. Plant your right foot, lift your knee, and then step back into plank pose. From here, look forward, shift forward slightly, lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Keep your hands where they are. Roll your shoulders down and away. Engage the area between your shoulder blades. Engage your legs. Inhale, lift your upper body up. Cobra pose. Exhale, back down. 2 more times. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. Engage your legs. Inhale your upper body up. Exhale down. And 1 more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Tuck your feet. Press back through plank or tabletop. And it will all just come back for a brief child's pose. Bring your toes together, knees out wide again. This is again a nice release for the lower back. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then look forward and look up. Bring your hips back up. Come into neutral tabletop again. And then walk your hands forward a little bit. Tuck your feet, lift your knees, and press back into downward facing dog. Maybe this downward facing dog feels a little bit different than it did in the beginning. Maybe you can work towards straightening your legs a little bit more here. So that will help open up the backs of your legs. Again, try to be gentle here. If you have really tight quads and hamstrings and even calves, it can feel nice to kind of pedal out the feet a little bit like I'm doing. Or just bring a generous bend and work towards straightening the legs. From here, look forward. Lift your right leg high, bring it into your chest, and step it in between your hands. Again, lower your left knee down to the ground, and then this time inch your left knee backward a little bit and work towards straightening your right leg. So this is kind of a half splits here. So you can either flex through your right foot or point, whatever feels better, or you can move between the two. I'm going to keep my foot flexed because that opens up nicely through the back of my right leg. Again here, if you need to elevate your upper body, you can bring a couple of books here or a couple of blocks to put your palms on. Otherwise, just bring your hands down to the ground and really breathe into the stretch on the back of your right leg. Maybe you bring your upper body down a little bit. And then from here, sit your rear end down toward your left heel, like that. So I'm kind of sitting on my left foot here. Inhale, getting a little bit of length through your spine. And exhale, walk your hands forward. So this should feel a little bit more like a stretch in your lower back as opposed to the back of your legs. If it's too much on the back of your legs, you can bring a little bend into your right leg. And then kind of fold forward over your right leg here. And gently come back up, push yourself back into a low lunge position. And we'll just step back into plank and switch feet. So step your left foot between your hands, bring your right knee down, inch your right knee back a little bit, and straighten out through your left leg. Again, half splits on this side. You can play around with pointing your feet or flexing your foot. Whatever feels better to you. Again, breathing into the back of your left leg. And try to relax your head and neck down. And then slowly shift your weight backward and sit your rear end down toward your right foot. Inhale, gain a little bit of length, and then exhale, fold forward over your left leg. Here in this position, try flexing your foot because that'll give you a nice stretch to the back of your leg. And again, this should feel also a little bit like a stretch for your lower back. Try to relax your upper body down. And then slowly push yourself back up. Coming back into a low lunge. And then from here, we're going to come into a frog position. So you're going to pivot over to the right or to the left, so to one side of your mat. Bring your knees down to the ground, kind of in this wide-legged squatting position. So again, this depending on your flexibility in your hips, you might be right here. That's totally fine. Or you can be a little bit wider apart. Try to bring your feet so that they're pointing outward. And then you can place your hands on the ground in front of you, and this might already be enough of a stretch for you. If not, and you want to go a little bit deeper, bring your knees a little wider apart. Maybe you hang out right here, or you can come down to your forearms if that's accessible to you. Really breathing into your adductors here, into your hips. Try to relax your upper body down. We don't need to be tensing through our shoulders here. You can just let everything hang and enjoy the stretch through your inner thighs. Don't forget to breathe here. It's very easy to try and hold our breath if something feels a little uncomfortable. So try to keep that breath going, maybe focusing on how it feels to inhale and expand your belly, and then exhale and draw your belly back in. And then from here, gently push yourself back up. You really want to come out of these intense stretches really slowly. Inch your knees back together. And then come down to sit on your butt. And bring your legs out in front of you. We're going to do one more last set of twists here, which can be really beneficial for the lower back before we go into our final Shavasana at the end of class. So from here, keep your right leg straight. And if this is hard for you or challenging for you to sit up straight with your legs out straight in front of you, you can bring a nice bend to your knees or elevate your hips up by sitting on some books or a pillow or a block or anything you have handy. So keep your right leg straight and bring your left foot to the outside of your right knee. From here, inhale your right arm high and twist over to the left. So you can bring your right elbow to your left knee, and your left hand can kind of support your upper body behind you. And twist to the left here. Find a little bit of brightness through your right foot. Flex your foot. Inhale, gain a little bit of length through your spine, and exhale, settle a little bit more into the twist. One more time, inhale, gain a little bit of length. Exhale, settle into the twist. And then slowly unwind everything, come back through center. Bring your left leg over to the left, straighten it out. Give your legs a little shake. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So bend your right knee, bring your right foot to the outside of your left knee. Sit up straight. Inhale your left hand overhead, and then twist to the right. Again, your right hand will just be behind you, stabilizing your upper body, and your left elbow will be here by your right knee. And we're not necessarily using this to kind of muscle our way into this twist. Instead, we want to kind of engage the core and use the core to twist ourselves to the right. So on every inhale, gain a little bit of length through your spine, and exhale, twist a little deeper. One more time, inhale, and exhale, twist a little deeper. Flex through your left foot. And then unwind, come back through center. Bring both legs out in front of you. And then slowly lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Knees out, or legs and feet out in front of you. Maybe even a little wider than hip width apart. And then your hands can just be down by your sides. Or bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. That can be very relaxing. Close your eyes and settle into your final pose of Shavasana. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then settle into your normal rhythm of breathing. Stay as long as you would like in Shavasana. Thank you for joining this practice. Peace and gratitude. Namaste.